when you're working on a piece like this, it's still in a form that it can grow.
Yeah.
And we're discovering things now, you know, the stuff that becomes representative of stuff like friendship that triggers a discussion about
giant
tradition.
metaphor sitting right in the middle of the closet and the box we put people into.
Right.
That's sitting right there in the middle.
Well, they both panicked when they got in the box.
Nobody likes being.
But then they both enjoyed keeping the other in the box.
Right, yeah,
They
that's
would
true.
just play with that,
Yeah.
but both.
Don't we?
Yeah,
And,
yeah. Well, that's something that came out of the workshop, that the action with the string, the action with the box, none of that was in the original production. So, you know, those are just things that kind of came along and went into the play as it developed.
I don't know if I'm making this up or not, but it's like, you know, the attic is a metaphor for people. People are like this attic, they have all these boxes inside. Some things inside the people are placed there by themselves, some are placed there by other people, whether it be an uncle or a father. And
yeah.
we all have all these boxes inside, and you know, and you open them up, and some are good, some aren't, and some are pleasant, and some aren't. But it's all this. You're made up of all these individual things inside, and then sometimes you find the need to open that box and let that stuff out, because sometimes you know otherwise it's cluttered.
And you never know when that random box is going to be open, and that thought is going to come back to you.
Right.
Yeah.
And things that people thought have long been put aside.
Smell a cookie and you write a novel.
Yeah, that's right. Or as the play brings out, you know, it's the day that they saw Gary again for the first time. And so that brings all those things back and puts them on that path.
What happened for anybody? I mean, what occurred to you?
Well, I've always had a lot of stuff in my life, but getting rid of it and what you guys were doing up there, to me, seems like you were getting rid of some of the things around you, and you ended up at a place of forgiveness at the end.
Yeah. Do you have stuff you want to get rid of? Is there stuff in your life that's regrettable, that you regret? So does a play like this make you think about that, or consider like how do I approach getting rid of my stuff, or in relationships, you got stuff between you in a relationship, you know what it is, but you can't talk about it.
Because sometimes stuff can be just how you approach relationships. You know, as we grow and as we're raised by our parents, and you can certainly see Bobby's parents' influence on him and Milton's parents' influence on him. You know, we're sort of taught certain things, but as we sort of get out into the world and realize it's not exactly like what we were told, and we have to form our own opinions. And so the stuff can be the things that we build up between people who we don't understand, or people that we haven't taken the time to get to know, or any number of different things. And so the play, I think, tries to kind of approach that in a generic way. It doesn't have to be about a gay person or a black person. It could be a Muslim or a Martian or anybody that we don't know, that we don't take the time to know, and the stuff that's built up inside of us on how we interact with that person.
I'm grateful to God that we have an opportunity, you know, to be around, literally, you know, and to express ourselves. So the things that you want to do, get in touch with me. And we're
We got a playhouse now. People can come play.
With Charlie, tell them about Charlie and the boys over there.
Yeah, we had actually the first night we did the play, we did a special performance for Campus for Human Development, Charlie Strobel's group. And they have a program over there called Odyssey, and Charlie and I have a couple of classes there. And we brought all the guys, I think we had about 40 or 45 of them. And one of the great ideas that Charlie had was, as a form of rehabilitation, to bring the guys over and do like improv and get them up on stage.
Life stories.
Life stories. Actually, that's one of the classes we teach is called Life Stories, where we talk about.
They're excited, they're pumped, you know, and a lot of unlikely thespians, you know, an opportunity to get on stage just to say, this is what I feel, this is what I think, better manage it. You know, because a lot of people being managed by their past, you know, by their experiences, mistakes, failures.
By their stuff.
About
Yeah,
the
other stuff.
Right. What do you think?
I think that the play has a lot to do with like identity and being secure within yourself. Because just, you know, a lot of the stuff you're going back in the past, you're thinking about just things you regret, things you don't want to think about anymore, but at the same time, if the subject comes up, it hurts you, and you don't want to be hurt. So it's like you try to almost block it or candy coat it, and if you hit that button hard enough, you're going to get mad. And that's how a lot of people are. They try to cover up the things that hurt, and because they're not completely secure with their past and completely secure with how they are at that moment. So really just, I guess, becoming more confident in who you are is what I kind of got from that.
It's good that you're sharing that. That's what this moment is about, you know, sharing what you think. It's not about what you think is wrong, or that what you think is what Jim thinks, who's the writer, or what Matt thinks, an actor, or what I think.
Although what I think is right.
Yeah, we love
But that's what theater, that's what the arts, regardless of theater or music or visual arts or physical art, that's what it's always been about, is making you face the realities of.
Yes.
I think the idea of something like the rep or even some of the Broadway productions or even some of
Yes.
the ballets, the operas, low attendance is a result of we've really grown a society that's not quite ready to face the realities of life. Putting that in front of them makes them have to either realize it or deny it further, and that's not a place they want to be.
That's the immediacy of what live performance is about.
Yeah, and that's where it's most effective, I think. And that's one of the things that Barry and I want to do with this space, is to do plays like this and to do workshops. And Barry, you can explain more what you're wanting to get into, but I mean it's a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, we want to get it better. This is what Matthew says, his character says at the end of the play. What are we going to do now? He says better. And to do better, you have to do different. And when you do different, you risk worse. And that's what we're willing to do. We're risking worse for the sake of that.
And so it can all be good. It doesn't mean that everybody has to, you know, do this, and because you're not doing this, you're not valid. I think what we can present here is going to be very valid, and we can do it in conjunction with them, and they, you know, they're not going to be kind of out there as far as they would need to be and be in that sort of uncomfortable position. So.
Well, I really commend you. I mean, I produced a play 25 years ago called The Normal Heart. And this brought me back to the days of doing The Normal Heart and watching honest theater, honest thinking, communication, living theater, intelligent writing, intelligent acting. I really commend you on what you're doing here. I mean, and the play I think is so timely because I mean it's certainly what I'm living right now. I mean, because there's so much stuff that we carry. Everyone we meet and every piece of luggage and every piece of trash comes in the room with us if we don't get rid of it before we walk in the room.
Right.
And what this play did for me was like, time to turn on the garbage disposal. You know, I mean, it was a thrilling evening of theater, and it was like, it seemed like 20 minutes long. You know, and when we did The Normal Heart all those years ago, you know, that was a scary time for theater, and no one wanted to address those issues. And I think this is an issue that needs addressing now, is that clear the crap out of your life, get the committee out of your head. And so I'm very, I make a living doing musical theater, and this brings me back to my roots, and I feel like I came home tonight, and I really got to thank all of you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.